We have the start of the NFL season among us, ladies and gentlemen. The greatest time of the year has finally arrived. But on today's episode, we got to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. They was really trying to get Micah Parsons. And tonight, that game versus the Eagles and the Cowboys, let's talk about it, guys. Do the Dallas Cowboys really have a chance? There's always a chance, right? Let's talk about it. But y'all know before we do and break it all down, you gotta hit the music first.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back into another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. I'm your host here, Bobby, and I'm holding it down on another daily episode. So if you're tuned in and ready for football, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Now, according to Adam Schefter, while this whole Micah Parsons stuff was going on, and we know he ultimately ended up in Green Bay, one division rival, the Philadelphia Eagles, they hit up Jerry Jones. Howie Roseman hit up Jerry Jones like, hey, man, what's up? He hit up Jerry Jones to try to see if they can acquire Micah Parsons. Hey, not even going to lie to you. Howie Roseman, bro, that's just a GM everybody that's a fan of NFL will love to have as their GM. He never sits. He never waits. He's always active, always making moves. You seen coaches come through the Philadelphia Eagles. Howie Roseman was like, all right, we know you won us a championship. We know you got us close to a championship, but your ass is grass. You got to get up out of here. Insert a new coach. We know that you, Carson Wentz, was on an MVP trajectory and possibly could have won it before you got hurt. But now we seen enough. We about to hand the keys over to Jalen Hurts. While a lot of other GMs and owners try to sit there and justify their moves, Howie Roseman say, we trying to win games. I don't care who you like. I don't care who you know. But you gotta go. That's Howie Roseman. I love how that GM operates. Always having foresight. Always not settling for less. Howie Roseman of the Philadelphia Eagles is a GM that everybody will love to have for whatever team that they root for, because that man is a beast of a GM. I have him as the best GM in the league. Not even gonna hold you. The best GM in the league, Howie Roseman, at least as it currently stands right now. That's just me. And for him to have the guts to call Jerry Jones after we just whooped y'all all last season, hey, man, what's up? You want to give us Micah Parsons too? We don't know how it's going to work with our cap space, but we going to figure this stuff out. That's Howie Roseman. Not ever saying we can't do something. Always trying to figure out a way how they can make the Eagles better and compete for championships. And already, as it appears, I have the Eagles and the Ravens as the two best teams in the NFL that has, from top to bottom, probably the best rosters around the NFL. And Howie Roseman said it still ain't good enough. Hey, Jerry, what's to it? Hey, Jerry, what's to it? And I'm 100% on board with that. Now, shout out to Jerry Jones, because if you would have traded Micah Parsons within your division, boy, what response would you have placed in the media, Jerry? I understand when you traded him to the Green Bay Packers, you might not play the Packers every single year. Yeah, you might see the Packers in the playoffs or something like that. But to trade Micah Parsons to a division rival and say, we don't care, we still going to whoop you. You can't stop the run. That don't make sense to me. Jerry Jones couldn't go in front of a mic and talk like that, could he? Could he? Man, just think about it. We talking about Micah Parsons, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, that great offensive line, Jalen Carter, and a number of other different young players that's just all around the team. And that took some guts. That took some guts. But hey, that's what good GMs do. We don't care. Look, we trying to do business. Not business, business. We trying to do business. So shout out to Howie Roseman because hey, it takes guts to say, look, we know we just won the championship. We willing to give up some players, but are you willing to listen? Are you willing to listen? Because I think the chances of the Eagles repeating out of at least coming out of the NFC, I think it's a strong chance, bro. I know we talk about the Commanders. I know a lot of people are now hyped up by the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, duh, about the Green Bay Packers. But man, whoo, Howie Roseman a different beast, bro. He a different type of monster. You got to show a lot of respect to him simply because he does not settle, bro. There's a lot of GMs around there that mismanage cap space, that justify a lot of their moves by hanging on the guys a little bit too long. Hey, you can also bring to the table that the Dallas Cowboys, if you're going to trade them, you held on to Micah Parsons too long because everybody knows, and this has been a talking point, not just by me that I'm about to say, but a lot of talking heads that Jerry Jones, why, if trading Micah Parsons was on your table, why wouldn't you trade him before the draft and open things up to the entire NFL? Like, and you knew that the payday was going to eventually have to come for Micah Parsons. So why wouldn't you have some type of foresight to say, all right, after last season, we got the draft coming up. Micah Parsons, we putting him on the trade block. Boy, do you know how many picks would have been coming your way? Not just 2 picks and a player. You would have had a number of picks and players. Probably would have asked if Jerry Jones would have executed that the right way. But hey, back again, Philadelphia Eagles. Howie Roseman, you cold, brother. You a cold brother. Howie Roseman, a cold brother, said, Jerry, I know you're hurting right now. But what's up with Micah Parsons? But hey, we do have a game coming up later today versus the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cowboys. Now, everybody is I'm picking the Eagles to win. But do the Cowboys really, really have a chance? There's always a chance in the NFL. I know it's not Sunday, but there's a reason why in the NFL we say any given Sunday. Because if you come out lacking, you could very well lose that Sunday or that said game that you're lacking in. And when it comes down to the Cowboys, if we breaking it down offensively, they can compete offensively, in my belief. I believe that the Cowboys is one of those franchises that has always prioritized a good offensive line at a minimum. You know what I'm saying? I can't recall a time to where the Cowboys just flat out had one of the worst offensive lines in the league. You know what I'm saying? At least for a long period of time. And when you think about CeeDee Lamb and you think about George Pickens, now I'm questionable about the running backs that they have over there, but the offensive line is good enough to help some of these young running backs that the Dallas Cowboys have on their team right now. The biggest question is on the defensive side of the ball. Is Kenny Clark going to be able to make an instant impact for the Dallas Cowboys? You got Trayvon Diggs. He should be active and ready to go today. You got former head coach of the Chicago Bears, Matt Eberflus, coming to coach this defense now. Now, when we talk about him, Matt Eberflus, as a head coach, complete mechanic, complete politician, but he's a hell of a defensive coordinator. I ain't even going to lie to you. Just don't allow. The good thing is that Matt Eberflus, he ain't got to talk much at the podium. Jerry Jones going to take that out of the way. So all you got to do is coach. But the problem is that when you think schematically with Matt Eberflus, he loves to rush 4. And on 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, he likes to run prevent defense or run zone. He doesn't bring a lot of pressure. Now, if you just sit back, relax, and let that great offensive line in Philly just pass protect against 4 without bringing much pressure, they can make some very, very good plays versus your team. So the biggest question is how does Matt Eberflus get his defensive line to be able to execute, to be able to stop the Eagles on some 3rd downs? How are you going to go out there and generate some type of turnovers and force Jalen Hurts or force other guys to make mistakes on a defensive side? Because if we're going toe-to-toe on the offensive side, I think that I'm going to give the nod to the Eagles offense. But I'm not going to sit here and act as if the Cowboys don't have talent on their offense, because they very well do. I think this comes down to how can the defense slow down the Eagles' offense, at least by finding or making some type of stops. I think that's what it's always comes down to, that, right? But at the end of the day, I think that there is a chance. It's just that I'm not picking them. I'm sorry. I'm not picking them. I'm not picking the Dallas Cowboys to win this game tonight. That's just me. That's how I'm going to go out there and choose it. I think that the Eagles on banner night, even though they said they're not going to be out there, I think they have I think they're going to feel good about getting this season started. They saying that they putting all this stuff behind them, but bro, you're being celebrated on a day. And we remember last time y'all hung about and was getting y'all ass whooped and the fans booed y'all. You don't want to get booed by Philly tonight. They want to see a win, especially versus the Cowboys. Now, again, these games can go either way. It is just the first game of the season. Some teams are not going to be firing on all cylinders, but some teams in the NFL, they come out and they be firing on all cylinders. Now, this team has a lot of continuity built up in the years that they have been together. They have been through many, many battles, and I'm pretty sure they have a solid game plan. The question is who on the Cowboys defensive line is going to be able to make some noise? Because Jerry Jones has already put that out there that, hey, we want to stop the run. We want to stop the run. We want to stop the run. But at the end of the day, you still gotta, you gotta compete versus this great Eagles offensive line and Saquon Barkley, the best running back in this league. So what is it going to come down to? We'll see. We'll see. Nobody's believing in the Cowboys. Hey, that's why we love the NFL, because sometime on a day, some teams can have a bad day. Look at the Lions last year. Look at the Lions last year in the playoffs. All the Super Bowl aspirations, and they had their worst game of the season in the playoffs. Obviously, different circumstances because it's just the start of the season, but the teams, they have bad days. Sometimes you need a reality check. But I believe in this team. I think the Eagles, I think they have championship pedigree. They've been to 2 Super Bowls out of the last few years, and they won one. I think they coming in with that mentality to beat the hell out the Dallas Cowboys. But would the Dallas Cowboys be like, nah, we ain't going for that. We know we got rid of Micah Parsons, but we going to be fine over here. I think it all comes down to how well of a game that Matt Eberflus coaches. How well does Matt Eberflus coach tonight? It's going to be a big determining factor. Plus, new head coach, Schottenheimer, how do you look calling his offense? How well prepared do you have your guys? We know you want to lean on that run game, so time of possession will be key. But again, we shall see. But that is it for me today, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all enjoy that football game later today. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a hell of a game, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. My prediction, I'm going 31-24 Eagles. But hey, I appreciate y'all, man. Before y'all get up out of here, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of NFL coming around, and we going to keep it rolling. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all always love football, and y'all already know. We going to catch y'all on the next one, for sure.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.